Hello everybody, back here again for a vlog a day, and today is Thursday the 7th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning earlier than I should have. Did not get much sleep done last night. I don't know, my brain's been not turning off very well, so I'm getting a lot of that overthinking about the whole new shop build and all that kind of stuff. I'm certain that's a lot of it, so it is what it is. But yeah, got a few things done though, nothing too major. Got up and around, got the dogs outside, jumped in the hot tub, got my banana and my water in. Wife got off to work and she had a couple other things to get done as well herself. She took off for that, and then in the whole process of getting things done around, I had the crew is supposed to come by to work on the shop. The goal was to get the city inspection done, which I think has already been, I think it's supposed to happen. And then they're supposed to come treat the ground for termites, and then get it vapor barriered before it rains, and then get the rebar down and all that good fun stuff to be able to do that. So none of that happened. Yeah, I don't know if it was the bug people that screwed up or what, but I reached out to the guy and asked, hey, are you guys gonna make it? And he goes, no, we're caught up here, such and such project, ended up running long and yada yada yada, whatever, and some of the bug people couldn't make it. And I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I said, well, I have a client who owns a bug company treatment that can do termite treatment. If you need, I can pull a favor and have it done within the hour. Like, I just need to know what it is, when you're gonna be able to get here, because if we treat it, then it rains before you cover it, then it's defeating the purpose and it doesn't count. So he said, no, we got it covered, we're gonna get it done, da 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 da. But not the greatest. I don't feel super confident. They said plan is to be there tomorrow. Everything should be on plan to be there tomorrow, and hurry up and wait. So there's that. But got a few other little things done here and there. Wife had to go get a root canal done today, and it was not long after her father also had a doctor's appointment, and I was planning on taking him to the doctor's appointment anyway, so not a big deal. So I went and dropped him off, and then basically I was told it was gonna be like an hour and a half. So I was like, well, I got some grocery stuff I want to do, an hour and a half, and it's not that far away that I'll just run back home. But on the way I was gonna stop at Winn-Dixie and grab myself some milk and some cottage cheese and other stuff I wanted. So I did that. Everything seemed like a great idea. Everything's great. Went to the store, got my stuff, and I was in checkout line, which luckily I did bring my cooler and a little ice like flat to keep the cooler cold before I put the cold stuff in. And luckily I had that because I was in checkout line. He called and said he was done. I was like, what the fuck? It was like 20 minutes, not even 15 minutes appointment. So I was like, okay, I guess we'll head back that way. So I texted her and she said she was on her way to the root canal. And I said, well, your dad's done, so I'm going back to pick him up. And she was like, okay, cool. So I go pick him up, and it turns out this was nothing more than they basically came in. He saw the receptionist, and I think maybe I saw the doctor, and said, you know, we got to schedule you an appointment for a later time to actually do this test. And I'm like, what the fuck? I told Karen afterwards, and she's like, we already talked about that. That was not the case. This is supposed to be the test. So there's just another money grab, another waste of time, just the bullshit that happens in our new medical world that we're dealing with, which is horseshit. So what are you gonna do? It is what it is. So yeah, got that fun and all that excitement to do. So went ahead and did that, and then from there, I got back home though, got my stuff put away. He got back across the street, and I hung out with the dogs, just chilling out there, having a good time, and hanging around for the day. Nothing too major really going on. End up basically, wife got in her root canal, and she was gonna go back to work, and she decided no, she wanted to come home, which I thought she would, and a lot of her other coworkers thought she would too. So she was like, yeah, I'm gonna come home. So she did. She comes home, and we got a couple things done. She had to check some emails and do a couple things from work, and I went ahead and she got that done, and she headed in, was gonna lay down and take a nap. And I thought, yeah, we'll lay down with her. So I laid down with her, and she took a nap for a little bit. We both fell asleep, and the dogs did really good, being quiet. Then a storm rolled through, and it never rained at our house. It was so weird, but it stormed like all around us. Lightning and thunder, like windows shook, all that kind of stuff. Got the dogs riled up a little bit. So I was like, I'll head out with them. So I got up, went and took the dogs outside, and they were a little bit nervous, but better for them to be scared out in the living room than parked outside as we're going in and out of the two, than being scared in the bedroom and waking up with them. So she needed to sleep a lot more than the dogs did. So I went ahead from there and chilled out in the yard and the dogs. Eventually she got up, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my run in. So I went and got my run in, got back from on my run, stopped in one of the neighbor's house that I've talked to about hot rods before and stuff, so chat with him a little bit. And from there, got back to the house, went ahead and jumped in the shower, got out of the shower, got the dogs fed, and we were discussing what we're gonna do for dinner. And she goes, I'll do it on my own. She goes, my jaw's still real sore and stuff, and I'm just gonna eat something real soft and not hard to chew. I said, not a problem. I will take care of myself as well. So after my shower, dogs are all fed, I went ahead and decided to have a tomato, well, actually half a tomato, and a bunch of cottage cheese. That was my dinner. And I've built a late night adult onset like dairy problem where it messes with my stomach real bad if I eat ice cream or drink milk or even eat some potato chip dips late at night. I'll have really bad stomach problems. Eat it in the morning, I'm fine. So who knows, it is what it is there. So I went ahead and had that and ran the risk of, let's see if I'm gonna get sick from this or not. So didn't get sick, thank God. It was really helpful. So, but yeah, had that. It was one thing I was like craving, so knocked that out and got a couple of little things done, chilling out for the evening. Ended up talking to a friend of ours who is finding out her husband has filed for divorce and whatnot, and she's never been officially served, but she thinks she's like got notice of it, and it's a whole mess. And I told her a while back, I'm like, you have to answer this. If not, it's going to be too hard to fight through. Like, it's just not worth it. You have to answer this, you know. And she's like, oh, no. So I started looking it up, and it's 20 days from service, and it doesn't count weekends. Everybody else goes, oh, it can't be. It's business days only. Nowhere that says anything but business days. It is actual 20 days. And we found that online where it states clearly 20 days. So she's already passed her 20 days. So I'm like, come over, we'll print out some stuff, the response, and see if we can't try and get it in there and say it was late postage or who knows what. Turns out she was never actually served. It's a whole mess. So she never was served, so she has no response time. But we convinced her, you've got to call a lawyer. Like, even looking at this papers to respond was above our level of understanding of this law. And with child support and like there's kids with special needs, there's a bunch of shit in there that it's worth the $5,000 that the lawyer wanted to handle this. Like, it's just not worth not having it. So we told her we will loan her the $5,000 and full out. We're gonna write like full loan papers and all that shit, so she can show the courts where she got the money, and all that stuff's gonna come up in the custody hearings and child supports and all that shit. She's gonna be able to show it. So she's gonna owe us this money, and it's gonna be all legal. You know, it's not gonna be, oh, you got friends and family, or you know, your parents or somebody gave you the money. It's not. She had to take a loan on this to get it. So we're working through all that stuff. It was kind of bad, and she was kind of opening up some stuff, and it's hard and it sucks, and she don't really have much of a support group, you know, kind of thing. So we were trying to give her advice on that whole stuff. So that went ahead and got done, and she was wanting to come over earlier, but everything kept coming up, kept getting later and later. And by the time she got there, Karen already laid down, so we were able to chat a little bit and whatnot. And we'd already said it's past our level. We were going to help her fill out the paperwork to respond, but it's beyond our skill set on many levels. Like, there's stuff in there. We were like, even some of the questions, like we're having to Google what the question's actually meaning because legal speak. So we're like, hey, this is too far, you know, and all that good fun stuff. So she did agree. She's going to contact a lawyer tomorrow. She's contacted a couple before, but when they tell her the $5,000 or $6,000, she would panic and put her head in the sand. And hopefully she's not doing that now. She's going to go at it head up and basically try her best to get through this. So yeah, it is what it is. But after that, she headed back home, and I headed outside to finish my cigar and enjoy the coolish of the evening. It had rained a little bit and it got real nice outside, so that's what I did. Karen went back to sleep. I came in later and watched a little bit of Blue Bloods and had myself a little snack of some of the new chips I bought. They had Lay's buy one get one at Dixie, so I bought some of those, so it's all good. So yeah, it was all good and everything was fun. So that's all we got right there, and that was it for the day. So I will talk to you soon. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.